And look at that. We are back. How's it going? As always, it's a Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Time for another RCS Live. Today, we're talking about the RCS Academy. How's it going? Hope you're well. It is Nate, as always, Director of Sales Engineering here at RCS. And let's get some housekeeping out of the way so we can talk about some good stuff in Academy. Of course, we have the studio spotlight. If you want to be featured in your studio, your whatever it is, you can be featured that on our social media pages. That's just a hashtag studio spotlight, email marketing at rcsworks.com. We have a ton of events coming up. That's right. I'm going to be at Texas Association of Broadcasters. That's TAB. That's be the first week in August. So that's about 2 weeks away. Plus, we got radio days and so much more. I know we also have the NAB Fall Show. That's evolving as we speak, which would be great. So, ton of great events coming up. If you want to, stop on by and say hi, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. We can talk about Zetta, GSelector, Acquira, Revma, RCS News, or the RCS Academy as well. So great list of events coming up there as well. Don't forget to check your backups and your data exchanges. Just a friendly reminder, make sure those things are working. Things always change as well. We do have a full archive for you of past videos. That's going to be rcsworks.com/RCS-live. Again, the RCS Live Archive over at rcsworks.com/RCS-live. That's all in there as well. And we have our chat open too, right, James? Yes, thank you for checking in. I appreciate any questions on, let's see, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter Live. We're here for you as well. Hey, Nick, I was trying to reach out to you last week, but YouTube was being difficult. The question for your answer from last week with the multi-song changer, GSelector 490 Service Pack 3, that's going to be your answer from last week's question. So thank you for checking in. You were on my mind for some odd reason once I closed this because you commented in the chat. The chat was closed. So I just want to make sure that you were aware, Nick. I did not forget about you. 490 Service Pack 3. Feel free to email me too, by the way, Nick, if you want, and mumford@rcsworks.com. We can talk about that as well there too. Let's see. Yes, send your studio pictures over to marketing@rcsworks.com for our hashtag studio spotlight. We love showcasing you. We love answering your questions. And so, again, want to make sure that we spotlight you. That's the idea. All right, let's dive into this week's topic, which is the RCS Academy. I love these user-driven questions. They're phenomenal. I always get these emails from, RCS Live videos and asking questions. And this week and last week, I had a bunch of users asking about training for new hires or for themselves. And I thought, let's have a refresher on the RCS Academy because that's the purpose of the RCS Academy is to help you and your staff get your team up to speed on GSelector and Zetta and get you certified. Yes. Thanks, Nick. I see you there. Thanks, Nick. Okay. So first things first, where's the Academy? RCSworks.com. You can see up here, there's the RCS Academy. We have two right now. We're working on Acquira as we speak. Give me some time. But we got GSelector and Zetta on here. This is phenomenal. The idea about these courses is they're made to be online self-paced courses. You can register online through rcsworks.com. We reach out to your local RCS sales representative, and we can get you in touch there and get you a seat as well. And so the idea is that we wanted to, let's say, again, new hires, never have seen GSelector or Zetta. We have certain users that have some basic knowledge, and I kind of compare this to GSelector. You really only know what you know of GSelector because the person who taught you. And what we found a lot from my experience is that users who learn GSelector learn it a very specific way, and they don't know some of the subtle nuances of GSelector. And again, as you know here from the RCS Live, how do you know how to do something if no one told you it existed in the first place, right? That's the idea. And so we have both GSelector and Zetta Certified. You can take them both or individually. They're both individual courses here. And again, the idea is that if you've never seen the software, it's perfect for basic users. If you're an intermediate user, it's going to show you and fill in those cracks. And if you're an advanced user, we try to go encompass the entire software for the most part, a traditional everyday workflow, if you will. And what we found is with advanced users, is, again, there are certain pieces they're just not familiar with, like, oh, that's what that does, or reinforcing best practices and certain things that you might not be aware of in other, let's say, pieces of the software, right? So let's dive into it today. We're going to talk a little bit about what type of user would take it, and then from there, dive into some of the things that you can do there. Um, yes, exactly. And of course, then there's some of us who experiment, of course. Absolutely. Hey, listen, don't forget the F1 dynamic help. You're not wrong there. The idea is that you're in a piece of area of the software and you're like, where am I right now? Hit F1 dynamic help. It's going to be a great resource for you as well. Yeah, I personally always encourage experimentation with our software. Of course, the idea is that we have to make sure we don't affect the on-air product, right? And that's where this comes into play as well. So rcsworks.com, RCS Academy, some great information here. And don't forget, too, you'll also be part of our growing list of RCS certified users. This is really important if you're going to get hired somewhere for your resume, your LinkedIn profile. We highly encourage you to go and broadcast that you're both GSelector and or Zetta certified as well. I got two tabs open here. I have the GSelector and the Zetta Academy over here. If you want to sign up, we do is you're going to sign up today. That little link down there, that's going to bring you to the store. We have the Zetta and GSelector certification. Add that to your account in your cart, and you can go and purchase those. You don't need to talk to RCS sales, but if you want to, we'll help you out in that process as well. I thought today we'd talk about Zetta, just, why not? But I want to kind of quickly show you the outline of how we designed both these. So this is the actual portal for RCS Academy and GSelector, and you can see it's very extensive. So what we do is we outline this course based on a topic with knowledge checks and final quizzes. Everything is randomized. We have a humongous pool of questions. So no two users can take the same exact course in regards to the questions, right? So again, the questions are randomized, the answers are randomized, and we have both knowledge checks, final quizzes, and final exams. So what we do is we have a topic here, right? So library part 1, we cover the library icons, browse list, and inline editing. After that video, we have a knowledge check. And that kind of is just a way for you to grasp if you digested the information you just watched. Typically, what I tell users, if you find yourself failing a knowledge check, it's probably a good indication to go back and rewatch that video because you might have missed some things that were there. Then for the final quiz, we combine that pool of questions from all the knowledge checks, randomize it, and you have to pass the final quiz of that topic to go to the next topic, right? Let's see here. So Jacob's got a great question here, and this is kind of why we did it. So Jacob was asking on YouTube, he's a student-run station. Do we have nonprofit discounts? And we do, by the way, Jacob, we do offer some discounts for students and nonprofits as well. If you want to email us or let's see here, I can reach out to you or reach out to me. We'll get you in touch with one of our salespeople and get you one of those discounts because you are a nonprofit. Yeah, definitely reach out. Again, my email here is nmumford@rcsworks.com, or you can poke us somewhere in there. Just reach out, Jacob. We'll get you a discount code, and we'll go from there. Yes, we offer codes for student-run stations. Absolutely. Yep. So you can see here we have all these libraries, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and the final quiz. And again, just outlining this, we'll actually show you this in the Zetta side, but I want to show you a GSelector outline because it's here. We got the library part 1, part 2, the goals tab, clocks, scheduler, editor, analysis, interface, reports, linker, setup menu, and of course, our selector to go product as well. And then the final, we have the final exam, right? And again, I try to organize the RCS Academy based on real life user examples. Hopefully you'll see some questions there as saying, hey, you're a program director trying to achieve X. Your operations manager reaches out to you and says, I need you to do this, right? How would you do that in the software, right? Jumping to the Zetta side of things, this is the Zetta course. Again, you'll notice it's very, very similar to that of GSelector. The backend's identical. The format is identical. Just the content is different between the two there, right? So you can see we have introduction to Zetta, the on-air module, logs module, library and metadata, hotkeys, zPlayer, single multi-track editors, stacks, now playing, audition modules, clocks, notes, library part 2, Zetta to go, RCS Cloud, Zetta Administrator. And this course in particular has 2 modules here that we added for kind of everyday users. The administration module will show you some settings that really pertain to everyday users, and the user module for specifically for Zetta, we wanted to kind of recap, if I'm talent, how do I typically utilize Zetta in everyday mode, right? And that includes like adding songs, making marks, voice tracking, jumping to Zetta to go, stuff like that. So you can see it's nicely outlined here. I'm going to expand the logs module. I'm just going to go ahead and pick here. I'll just go to part 1 for right now. Open this up here. And you can see on the left-hand side, this is my navigation. It's going to show you what you completed and not completed yet, right? So obviously check mark and whole circle means that we've done it. It's completed. If you see an open circle, means you're not there yet. And no, you can't continue on to the next topic if you haven't passed the previous topic. Very important to note, right? So here's the video here. Full scrolling options for you as well. We can make this nice, big, and full screen. I'll hit play over here, and you should be able to hear this.
The next module we'll look at is the log module, which essentially acts as a companion to the on-air sequencer. If the on-air sequencer plays all of the elements that are queued up in order, the log module will auto-feed the on-air sequencer with upcoming schedules. You'll also notice that the log module displays the current elements that are playing and their progress bar, as well as elements in the past and in the future. Visually speaking, at the center, you can see that I'm working in the logs module. To the right, I can see what date and stations are displayed. Start getting into the good habit of whenever you're working in a module, immediately focus your attention to the top right to identify what station that module is currently assigned. For example,
So I can keep on going here, but I think for time purposes, I just want to kind of show you an example of how the text is read here. And there's different voices. There's myself. There's also Drew. There's Aaron. There's a whole bunch of voices in the RCS Academy. So we try to mix it up here so you don't get the same voice every single time. Just want to show you a little brief taste of kind of how we outline it, talking about best practices. And again, we do try to ease you in here for RCS Academy. So we start very slow, and then we pick it up. We talk about those advanced topics as well. Nick, I got you over here again. Good question. If being certified, do we do payment plans or installments? I believe it's all of it, but if you want to reach out to your local RCS sales rep, we'll put you in touch there and help you out. We'll work with you here. That's the idea of the Academy. So again, we want to empower our users. If you have any questions, let us know. We're always here to help out as well, just so you know. And by the way, I've been saying Nick. I think it's Nick. If it's not Nick, please correct me if I'm wrong here. All right. So what we do here is we take, logs part 1. We watch the video. In case you're wondering, we try to keep each video to roughly somewhere around 7 minutes. We found that's kind of based on our users and our beta and our alpha programs. We found most users like around 7 minutes. And then, of course, each topic varies based on how big that topic is. In GSelector, the goals tab, it's very, very dense. So that's got 2 parts to it with I think 5 topics in each. Whereas let's say the logs module here is 1 logs module. It's got 6 parts. So usually, users ask us, how long does it take to finish the course? I always say it depends on how well you digested the information. Remember, if you watch the video and you fail a knowledge check, it's a good indication you want to go back and re-watch that video. That's time. If you're taking your time with the knowledge checks and the final quizzes, which we expect you to do, that also takes some time. But I've had some users take it in a weekend because they're power users and they fill in the cracks. I've had brand new users take it for a couple months. There's really no restrictions there. Oh, hey, hello from Thailand. Hey, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Awesome. I love that stuff. Great. Thank you so much for checking in. And any questions, let me know. And so what you can do here, right, is think about 7 minutes of video. This topic here has got 6 times 7. What's that? 35, 42. It doesn't matter. And then from there, give yourself time for the knowledge check. So again, if you take that 7 minute per video mark and multiply it by the topics, you can see the outline here of what's going to happen. So let's jump for this particular exercise. We're going to take the final quiz here for part 2, right? And don't worry, I don't expect you to memorize this, but you and I will do this together, okay? And remember, the idea here is develop best practices. We talk about this in the introduction to the videos. There's not meant to be a gotcha here. I'm not trying to confuse you, all right? This is not one of those things where like it's a getting your doctorate. We want you to get certified because we want you to be empowered utilizing this software, right? So don't overthink these questions. How many days in the past or the future can Zetta display in store? Guess what? There's no limit here. And you'll notice that some questions, multiple choice, true, false, or select all of the above. Zetta utilizes GUIDs, or globally unique identifiers, a complex, unique alphanumeric ID so that every element, transition, or voice track cannot be aired at an incorrect time. That is a true statement. Again, not meant to confuse you here, trying to develop and enforce best practices. While working the voice tracker, the user can only see block colors and not the sine waves. How can they change this setting, right? Can they reload the segue editor? There's no way to change that setting. I'm going to give you a little tip. Anytime I say there's no way to do this, there's always a way to do something in Zetta. That's wrong. Expand the contract view areas per a single line, or switch to segue editor mode. It's going to be the expand contract view. What is the desired behavior of the segue chain type, right? That's going to be finish the current element and wait for the user to fire the next element. Back time the links, the piece of imaging ends at the end of the song. And automatic start the next element. The half produced link will trigger the song at the point in which the dry has to go play with the next one. Segue is going to automatically start the next element. That's what it's going to do there. Let's see here. Very quickly moving through here. Though voice tracking is a 3-step process, users can customize voice tracking with keyboard shortcuts. That's true. A user wants to stop a queued up element from playing. What is the Zetta best practice? The user wants to stop a queued up element from playing. Let's see here. They can skip the element from the log on users' ability to skip. I believe that's the one right there. I'm moving pretty quickly here. Outside the on-air module, there's no way to see a particular hour's ETM and gap time. That is false. Of course, you can see it everywhere in multiple locations. How would a user adjust the position of a column in the log module? And you can see here, it's be left click and drag, right? That's going to be adjust the position of the column. Let's see here. Yeah. What is desired behavior? I think it might be position, right? That's we hover the center, left click and right. That's position. Oh, I got to go back and read that one. That's got to be. What is the desired behavior of a link song chain? That's going to be, link song is the half produced trigger we'll do there. And of course, your program director has tasked you with pulling an element from log, although they don't know when it's scheduled next. What log function can you use? So there's a real life example, right? Your program director has tasked you with pulling an element from a log, although they don't know when it's scheduled next. What log module function can you use, right? So you can do the search magnifier and search desired phrase. You can auto scroll. That's a lot. You can tool gear and resend the flat file. Nope, not going to do that. Cycle the filter and uncheck the desired element. That's a lot of work too. It's just use the search tool and go from there. So let's finish this quiz and see our results. And again, you can see here, it must be a 70 or above to pass. 10 out of 10. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, I don't understand one question in there. Oh, I know. So you can see here, 10 out of 10 questions answered correctly. We're good to go. We can view those questions, restart the quiz, click here to continue, click to continue, go to Zetta Part 3. We can go from there as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do here. By the way, as an administrator's perspective, yes, we do have some administrative roles here. We do reports so you can see how your users are doing when taking the course as well. So going back, if you were a college Jacob and you wanted to, let's say, have a teacher and you're looking at all the students who are taking the course, you could have a report and see your progress of each student, making sure they're passing the courses and all of that. Super channel, great question. We don't really offer demo versions of our software per se. There's a lot of customization. Plus, we want to make sure you learn it correctly because, again, this is commercial grade piece of software, both for GSelector and Zetta. So we like to make sure that, in regards to demo, we want to train you and develop best practices and understanding the software versus just a demo version of the software. So great question there too as well. I'm going to do last call for questions here. So Jacob, Nick, Thailand, I wish you put your name there. I'm so sorry I didn't see it. Any questions for me, let me know. We always do kind of a last minute Q&A here. Any questions you want covered. So for example, Nick was talking about a GSelector multi-song changer. We covered that as well in the last question. So last call for questions here. Just to recap, the RCS Academy, go to rcsworks.com. You can go from there. At the very top, you'll see, actually, I'll just go, I jumped there too, but Academy at rcsworks.com. We have both Zetta and GSelector certification right now available to you. It's a great resource for beginners, intermediate users, and advanced users as well. Yes, I can. Let's see here. How can I throw that in there? Can I do that on my end? I can do this here. Hold on. I think I can do this. I think I can do that. And then I can do that. Yeah, there you go. Ed Mumford, rcsworks.com. How's that? Does that work out for you, Jacob? And then let me know, and we'll put you in touch with your local sales rep. We'll get you going here. Don't worry about that, right? Let's see here. Good question, Jacob. We got that one covered as well. Just to recap, too, don't forget, a lot of great events coming up here if you're on the road. We got Texas Association of Broadcasters, Radio Days, NAB Fall Show, and much, much more. If there's a topic you want covered or any questions you have for us, Roo Radio, thanks for checking in. Let us know. We're here to help out. Otherwise, we'll catch you every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time for RCS Live. Don't forget the archive as well, rcsworks.com/RCS-live. That is our archive over there. So cool. Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate it. Awesome. I'll see you next Thursday at 11 a.m. Have a fantastic day.